based just on whether they're a debt investor or an equity investor. Because the truth is, for every set of terms that you apply to a debt investor, there is an equity percentage that would produce the exact same ROI for the investor. Sure, their money is coming to them in via a different structure, but there's an apples to apples point. For example, let's say there's a 12% interest debt investor. Well, there is a percentage of equity, percentage of cash flow and equity on the back end that over the lifetime of the project, when all said and done, they're going to get the exact same return as the 12% investor. Now, generally speaking, equity investors are taking on more risk, and so they're going to require greater return. Rough rules of thumb, private debt, depending on the repayment terms, I can usually get between 8 and 12%. 8% to 9% is going to be that, principal and interest payments starting right away, typically like a bank, except it came from a private investor. Whereas the 10 to 12% returns are going to have more favorable terms for me as the owner relative to cash flow. For example, maybe it's 10% interest only payments forever until we pay back the loan, or maybe it's 12% but no payments until we pay back the loan, right? These are the various terms that we can play with and manipulate to kind of create a structure that will allow a deal to work. But those same dollars can be achieved through an equity position. Now, equity investors will usually want a 16 to 20% return because, again, none of their return is fixed, whereas with a debt investor it is. So hopefully that adds some clarity to that. This is going to be the topic of we're going to do several of these courses on funding, some of them on the more basic stuff, and then some really dive into this high level, more sophisticated deal making funding structures. And so we'll leave it there for now. Another